Hi everyone, welcome to another new video, which will be one of my last videos before the final, or before the week of Eurovision anyway, which is next week, which I still can't believe how quickly it's come around. It doesn't really feel like it's next week. I don't know why, maybe because I'm not going, I'm staying at home this year, maybe that's why. But yeah, it literally is next week. Wow. In fact, actually, this time next week will be, yeah, the day before, well, the day I'm filming this now will be semi-final one. Wow, yeah, 1 week to go until the first semi-final. Wow. Anyway, yeah, so this will be one of my last videos before next week. And it's a video I've been doing now for, well, only about 2 years, talking about my winner, my personal Eurovision favourite of the year. So I did this type of video for the first time in 2023, where Finland, Kaaria was my winner, of course. And then last year, at first, I had the Netherlands as my winner, Joost Klein. But then eventually I moved to Croatia, and then Croatia became my favourite. And actually, looking back, I think even if Joost Klein wasn't disqualified, I think I would have had Croatia as my winner anyway. So yeah, it was the year before last was definitely Finland, cha cha cha, and then last year it was kind of Europapa at first, but then Rim Tim Takagim by the end of it. So yeah, it sort of changed a little bit. I just think the staging of Europapa was a little bit disappointing, but I do still like the song. So yeah, I've done why I want Finland to win Eurovision, and then last year was why I want, well, at first the Netherlands to win Eurovision, and now this year, my winner, my favourite is Sweden. So as you know already, Bara Bastu is my favourite of the year, and it is pretty much the big favourite of the year to win, and just the big fan favourite in general as well. And I've spoken about this before in my last video, I think, but I'll say it again. So it's really interesting, the fact that I've got Sweden as my favourite this year because, well, it's quite funny actually, because I don't usually have Sweden as a winner. Um, I mean, especially in Liverpool, I was firmly on Team Finland, Team Kaaria, but how things have changed now. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Swedish entries I love over the years, of course, a lot that I really like, and a lot of Melodifestivalen entries that I like as well. But yeah, there have been a few times, as there have with many people over the past few years, where Sweden are always doing so well. They're always in the top 10, top 5. And sometimes I found some, not all, but some Swedish entries a bit overrated, um, overmarked, especially with the juries. Um, and, this whole thing about, oh, we don't want Sweden winning again. They've won it so many times. And normally I would think that. That's what I would always think. But then this year, it's completely different. And I am perfectly happy with Sweden winning again. I've even gone out, I bought on Amazon a Swedish flag. So I now have a Swedish flag to take with me to watch the final. So yeah, I'm waving the flag for Sweden this year, which doesn't ever happen with me. So that's why it's so interesting how everything has changed, and how it makes you realize how it should be about the song and not just the country. But yeah, I've got this Swedish flag, and the only other flag I've got is a Finnish flag, which I bought in Liverpool the day before the final of 2023. So now I've got Sweden and Finland united by music. So yeah, for a few years now, people have been asking Sweden to do something completely different because we're so used to Swedish pop. And, I mean, it's fair enough. It's what they're known for, well-produced pop. They're good at what they do, and that's what they have been doing recently, in the modern era of Eurovision, and that's fine. But I think people would have liked them to do something completely different, and now they have. And all it took was just 1 year, one group, one song in Melodifestivalen to change everything. And now suddenly we have got a song in Swedish and a song that's not really pop as such. It's actually something you would expect more from Finland. I know they are from Finland technically, but it's just not what you would expect from Sweden. Usually, it's what people have been sort of asking for, and now suddenly, all of a sudden, it's here. They've done it. We've got it. It's a fun song. They're showing that they can have fun, and it's just not what you'd expect at all from Sweden. It's in Swedish for the first time in, well, since I think it was like 1998 or something, late 90s, over 20 years since the language rule change. Ever since then, it's been in English, and now suddenly it's not, and it feels, you know, it still feels Swedish, but not in that pop music way, in a completely different way that's still fun. It's also really funny that normally Sweden have a very jury-friendly song in Eurovision. It's always something that the juries will get on board with. Like Loreen, Tattoo, it won the jury and won the contest. And pretty much all of their entries, like Benjamin Ingrosso, John Lundvik, they're always jury-friendly songs. They don't send like the big, fun, happy, funny Televote favourite song. You don't get that from Sweden normally. But this year, the Televote favourite is coming from Sweden, which is a complete opposite of what we usually have. So that's just really fascinating as well, that we're talking about Sweden as a Televote favourite. Like, when does that ever happen? This year, the jaaaa, the Rim Tim Taggy Dim, is coming from Sweden of all countries. It's just so interesting and just so strange. It's a weird feeling. And talking about Televote favourites, so this is definitely, surely, the Televote winner of the year. So we've had jaaaa, Rim Tim Taggy Dim, it's a bit of a mouthful, and now Bara Bastu. So does that mean that it will be the third year in a row where the Televote favourite and the Televote winner comes second, but doesn't win the whole contest? Could this be the third year in a row where that happens? Or will Kai actually do well in the jury as well, and very well in the Televote, and win the whole thing? Well, I can definitely see the first option, the Televote favourite, but the overall runner-up. I can see that happening again, which means it'll be the third year in a row where my favourite comes second. I'm prepared for that. I can see that happening. I think it would be nice for the Televote favourite to win this time, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I would like this to win, because we've had 2 years now of Loreen and Nemo, brilliant as they were, and they were both deserved winners, of course. But it would be nice now to just have the people's favourite, which I assume this will be the people's favourite, win. Let's just do it. Let's just have it. It'll just be nice, after Karia, Baby Lasagna missing out why not just have a nice, happy, catchy, Televote favourite song wing? And Bara Bastu is extremely catchy. I don't think anyone can deny that. It is constantly stuck in my head. I sing it like in my head like all the time, constantly, every day. The chorus is addictive. The whole song is just so catchy. And something I was thinking the other day about this song, it feels kind of nostalgic in a way. It's like it's not outdated. It still sounds quite current. It's its own unique sound. But you can imagine it being in the contest like 20 years ago. But it doesn't mean it's bad at all. It's brilliant, but it has this like nostalgic kind of feel to it, almost like if we're talking about Swedish winners, um, when they won in the 80s, Diggiloo, Diggiley. I think that was three men as well, wasn't it? Or four men in a group. It kind of like, it sounds like it would fit well with that, but it would be the winner of 2025 and it would still work. It would still fit really nicely, I think, with Swedish winning songs because of how different and how refreshing it is. Kai seem like really fun and likable people. It's a fun song, fun performance, but it's not a joke entry, definitely not. And it would just be so cool for them. When you think of their story, and well, I don't know much about them as a group. I know they're like a comedy group. I think they've done like musical theatre as well. Don't really know how famous they were. They were probably more well known in Finland than Sweden. But something that something that people on Twitter have mentioned a few times over the past few weeks, which is really interesting, is the fact that Kai in Melodifestivalen were at the bottom of the odds, right at the bottom of the bookmakers of the betting odds in Melfest. And then they won Melfest, and now they're favourite to win Eurovision. So yeah, that whole cycle, that whole story, it would just be a really nice moment for them to win Eurovision as well as winning Melfest. And with the whole Finland and Sweden thing, so obviously they're from Finland, but Swedish speaking area of Finland, and the song is in Swedish. But you could say that if they win, it'll be a win for Finland as well. And it could, bring them together, have this nice unity of Swedish and Finnish. I bet there'll be a lot of Finnish supporters for this, and I assume Finland, the jury, and the televote should be giving this their 12 points. I'll be shocked if they don't, really. I will talk a little bit about Melodifestivalen. I know I have done before, but why not? It is a video about the winner of Melodifestivalen for Sweden. So as you know, I was in the audience for the final of Melfest, and I just feel so lucky that we picked this year to go to Melfest because the final overall was really strong. For all the years I've been watching Melfest, which is only about 5 or 6 years, I think it's the best final I've ever seen. Not just Kai, but other songs as well. And to witness Kai winning, yeah, I just feel really lucky and appreciative that I was able to do that, to see them winning Melodifestivalen and now potentially be the winner of Eurovision as well. I said before, the atmosphere and the hype and the support for this particular song, you could really feel it. It was really strong. And it reminded me a bit of Cha Cha Cha, all the hype that Karia had for his song as well. It just reminded me of that. You could tell there was so much support for it. and they were the underdogs as well in the semi-finals, but not so much in the final though. I think in the final it was between them and Mang Zemelev, and I have to say, like, not to be rude or anything, but I'm so glad that Mongs didn't win Melfest, because if he did, imagine now if Revolution won Melfest and that was the Swedish entry. I mean, I don't think it would be a favourite to win anyway, really, but imagine if it was and how boring that would be. I would not be supporting Sweden if that was the outcome. Definitely not. So luckily, this was the outcome, and it's a much better outcome, I think. There was so much excitement when Kai won Melfest, as you can see from the point of view, from my point of view, from being in the audience. Yeah, I was very excited as well. That's very clear to see.
It looks like Mars feels. It looks like he's accepted defeat, but I don't know.
And even if it doesn't win Eurovision, let's say it does come second or even third, which is still a brilliant result, it has already changed the perception of Sweden in Eurovision because they've done something completely different to what they normally do. And in Melfest as well, you know, it could change the history of Melfest and inspire other different songs like it. So it's already made history in its own way just by winning Melodifestivalen, really. So, you know, that's already a good thing. So technically, in theory, the fact that Sweden are such a big favourite to win again, only 2 years after winning and 1 year after hosting, normally that would be, well, you just wouldn't want that to happen. You roll your eyes and think, oh no, surely not again. But I don't care because it's this song, it deserves it. So yeah, it's just funny how we should be annoyed that they can win again so soon. But because of how, you know, because of how much I love the song, I don't care that they're going to win again. I'm happy for them to win again. I mean, I'll be happy for Austria as well if they win. But, you know, if it's about the song, this is the song I would like to win, and it just happens to be from Sweden. If Sweden do win, then that means that they'll be hosting the 70th anniversary or the 70th year of the contest. And I assume it'll be in Stockholm. So that means it'll be 10 years since they last hosted in Stockholm in 2016, maybe even in the same arena. So that's quite fitting. You know, a Swedish contest on the 70th year. They'd love that, wouldn't they? I bet Sweden would love the chance to do that for that big anniversary. So yeah, that all seems to come together quite well. So in short, in a nutshell, why do I want Sweden and Kai to win Eurovision this year? Because it's my favourite song in general of the year. It's very, very catchy and fun song. I think it'll be really nice for them as a group. I think it would be a really interesting and different winner, probably a televote winner as well. It should be a nice change and welcomed by quite a lot of people, I think. I think to put it in the group of Swedish wings, it'll stand out quite nicely. You know, it just seems quite different and unique and just quite refreshing. I think it'll be just a really fun winner, and I don't mind about the fact that it would mean Sweden winning and hosting again so soon after winning and hosting. I don't mind that because I'm just thinking about the song, and it is my favourite song of the year. And I just think it'll be a really nice, positive winner. I really do. I think it'll be quite emotional actually if they win, because they were like the underdogs of the country and national final, and they just seem like really nice people. I think a lot of people will be really happy if they win. I just think it would be a really nice wholesome moment. Yeah. If this song does win, I think it will be up there as one of my favourite winners of the past decade, probably. I would put it up there with Måneskin, but slightly below. Um, yeah, it would be one of my favourite winners in a few years. Definitely, I think that would be brilliant if they win. It would just be, yeah, just a really happy moment, I think. And the song is an absolute bop. Let's be fair, it is. So, good luck, Sweden. I am on your side this year. How things have changed in just a few years. Yes, I wonder what the Swedish fans are thinking right now. They're probably thinking, wow, looks like we better prepare yet again for another hosting job. I bet Sweden or SVT, the broadcaster, I bet they really are preparing for this. They must know that they are a big favourite to win. Let's hope they will, still have the energy to do it. Hopefully. So that was my video on why I want Sweden to win. But my next video, which will be in a few days' time, before the live shows, before the semi-finals and the final, will be my winners prediction video. So, well, Sweden, of course, will be very much included in that, of course. But talking about a few other potential winners as well. I don't think there are that many other potential winners, really. So I'll be talking about 3 countries, including Sweden, that could be contenders to win. So not what I want necessarily, but what I think could win. So stay tuned for that video coming very soon. But thank you for watching. Let me know if Sweden's your favourite and how you would feel about this song winning. Maybe you don't like it at all. And how do you feel about the likelihood of Sweden winning and hosting again so soon, just a year after? Are you completely against that, or do you not mind because you like the song? Well, thank you, or in Swedish, tack, or tack så mycket. Is that how you say it? Tack så mycket, I think, is thank you very much for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you very soon for the next video. And then after that, we will have the semi-finals. Wow, can't wait. So join me for that. See you then. Bye, and good luck, Sweden.